Welcome to the scene. My name is Caroline, and this is Mystic Pixie, where we talk about art, healing, and have spiritual conversations. In this video, I'll be sharing a concept I came across which can explain common shadow patterns in humanity. Through identifying these patterns, you can begin to transmute them into a higher level of functioning and come back into who you truly are. So today we'll be exploring the obstacle of self-deprecation. So what is the obstacle of self-deprecation? First, I'll explain the 7 dragons. They are shadows created in life due to trauma, early life. They are deep patterns that cause stagnation. I'm making this video to help you become more aware of these patterns. Contending with them makes life engaging. Dragons and entities leech our energy, keeping us in perpetual depravity. They're formed during early childhood to serve as coping mechanisms. Eventually, they become like vices. They keep us from authentically expressing ourselves, accessing others, and the life we deserve. They want you to turn into the creepy old person who nobody wants to take care of, let alone be around. The 7 dragons are arrogance, self-deprecation, greed and self-destruction, martyrdom and impatience, and a standalone dragon, stubbornness. So how is the self-deprecation dragon created? In a similar way to the arrogance dragon. The self-deprecation dragon is created, I just saw the number 222, through a lack of unconditional love. In childhood, there's a sense in early childhood that love is highly conditional. There might have been high expectations on the child. They may have had siblings who were high achievers, and they could have been told that their own achievements did not measure up. Because they did not play a Mozart concerto while riding a dolphin, they were condemned. This is where the dragon steps in. They learn to apologize for their achievements because they are so small. They learn to fear achieving because of the disappointment it would bring from adults. They learn to make themselves small and groveling and criticize themselves, which leads to them not even trying. They may say things like, I would come with you to the painting class, but I would probably fuck it up, so I won't. And this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy as they live in a perpetual fear of inadequacy. They learn to avoid success. What does it look like? You can spot these things through physical manifestations. It tends to come out subtly on a day-to-day basis. They tend to come most alive in the personality when someone is acting out of fear. When the person is feeling safe or in the presence of friends, it may not come out at all. So because the base fear is of being inadequate, they advertise their inadequacy in response. This is to avoid disappointing others and being rendered inadequate. They may appear apologetic, disheveled, slumping, and looking down and away. These people do not speak up. They may throw in the occasional self-deprecating remark. The core is a lack of belief in one's own ability. And this may even show up very subtly as adults. They may present themselves in a very clean way, but you'll only be able to spot it through their humility and self-deprecating remarks. How does it impact the individual negatively? So they may hold themselves back from achieving. There's a lack of self-love in this regard. This life can lead to depression, the same way retirees can feel depressed because they've lost a sense of adequacy from having a family or having a job. These people stop helping themselves feel adequate. You can spend your creative energy on creating a persona of being a loser. Your depression may become so insurmountable at times from this feeling of low self-worth that saps your creative energy as well. You may be reminding yourself of past failures or thinking of how you will fail future events, and so it takes you out of the present moment and your ability to react within that. Additionally, your breathing may become shallow, which can starve the cells in your body and create susceptibility to infection and diseases. This is quite a harsh dragon on the body. It can even lead to some kinds of cancer. It may take away your will to take care of yourself. You may not eat well, abuse drugs, or struggle to maintain hygiene. All in all, you are disrespecting yourself as you regard yourself as a lowly, good-for-nothing piece of crap. How can you defeat the dragon? Each of the dragons are tricksters. Just by naming the dragon, you open up the pathway to fighting back. However, be mindful, it will lurk in insidious dark corners of your mind and take up any whirling black corner that it can find until it eats the last bullet. Acknowledge the darkness and accept you're afraid of being inadequate. Be okay with becoming a success and be willing to take risks. Small risks though, because sometimes the dragons can trick you into doing huge steps which you later regret and use as further defense, bolstering yourself against the world and success. Don't apologize. You don't need to. Take deep belly breaths, do yoga, or get deep tissue massages to help release your rib cage and allow better breathing for your health. Validate yourself rather than belittling yourself. And lastly, give up the pride in knowing that you are a loser, because you could be wrong. And some personal anecdotes. So, awareness is, how does it feel? Awareness is a huge key. Once you know you have the dragon, you have taken the first step in sharpening the sword. And you can stop identifying with it. You can see these patterns as not you, and you can stop feeling shame for it, because it's not you. It's a coping mechanism, it's a shadow, it's a belief system that you've been holding that no longer serves you. Through shadow work, you may eventually find you'll be able to trace back your major thought patterns with this dragon. Amazingly, I've found with my own shadow work with the arrogance dragon, regardless of the dragon, just doing pure identifying thoughts, feelings, and deeper feelings, and seeing if those are helpful feelings or not, and replacing them, I found that the core beliefs, digging deep, have come down to relating to the shadow patterns. So you may be able to trace back your own patterns to this dragon. So, a personal anecdote, my sister actually has this dragon. It confuses me because I see her as more brilliant than me in many ways. Although I know we are, of course, equals. She has a wonderful sense of humor, taste in music, and artistic fashion sense, and I have no idea where she gets it from. It's so original. She's an original thinker. It is most concerning to see her get routinely sick and stop taking care of herself, stressing over failing tests, and not want to leave her room in bouts of depression and all the rest. I would love for this information to reach her someday. She is a beautiful soul, deserving of the best nourishment and love. It can be hard to know how to intervene, although what has helped is trying to see past the dragon, knowing it's not her, and constantly encouraging her and reaching out. It's also important to be clear that achievement is not what matters, but it is who she is that's important. I can relate to some degree because the dragon that I have is the dragon of arrogance, which sometimes slides to self-deprecation because they are on the same axis. They have the same core fears, and they can slide to each other depending on circumstance, which is something that I'll be exploring in a later video. So the book is this book. I'll leave a link to it. It's a really good book. And what are your thoughts on the matter? Do you have this dragon? If you'd like to buy the book, I'll leave a link to it. And now, to close out this video, I will read some affirmations to help you slay the self-deprecation dragon. Affirmations to beat the self-deprecation dragon. I am amazed at the success I experience in everything I do. I experience great confidence in my ability to handle all the challenges with which life presents me. I find it easy to receive compliments and praise. I know that people like me and want to spend time with me. When I fail, I learn something valuable about how to succeed. I am adequate to meet any experience in life. I am a lovable person, and I know I make an important contribution to the world. I think that is a beautiful place to end the video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye.